Hello and welcome to the Building Your Brand podcast. I am so excited that I am recording this episode live. I mean, not live because it's not going out live, but I am here at Adobe MAX 2025 in LA, and I wanted to share a bit of a behind the scenes take on it, but also share some of the things that I've been thinking about and noticing while I've been here. So 4 years ago, I came to Adobe MAX for the first time in LA, and it blew my mind. I had an absolutely incredible experience. And I remember thinking at the time, one day I would love to speak here. And I'm so excited because this year it actually happened. And I have been doing 4 labs with Andy Lambert, which has been amazing. And Andy is brilliant. He is part of the product team at Adobe. He created a social media scheduler, a SaaS company that then got bought by Adobe. And he's been working there for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. Anyway, we get on really well and we've been having a great time working together. So we're on day 2 of Max and we've done 2 of our labs and we have 2 more to go. But I thought I would share a bit about what's been going on and I guess some of the things that I've been thinking about. So yesterday they had the keynote, and this is always where everybody shows up and Adobe announces the big updates in all of the different tools. And, this year it was very AI focused, which is what I was expecting. It's been challenging for me in some ways because I've really had to grapple with how I feel about that, how I feel about, where AI and the creative industries are going. But I've had some brilliant conversations with people as I kind of process that and work through how I think about that. Now, one of the features that I did want to shout out, which was shared in the keynote, was probably one of the simplest ones, but honestly, I loved it. And this is where I do get really excited about AI. They are integrating sort of AI agentic models into different tools at Adobe. And one of them was in Photoshop. And basically you could ask the agent to name your layers for you. And it would, see what was on the layer. It would work it out itself and then obviously name the layer appropriately. And I am definitely in the camp of designers who does not name their layers and whose files are often very chaotic. So this was very exciting to me. And I guess these sort of workflow updates and where these tools can help me with the non-creative tasks that I don't really enjoy, but I know I should do. That's where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great. I can get on board with. I think some of the other stuff, the generative AI things I have been struggling with a bit. And, it's interesting to see what they can do. But I guess I haven't really worked out how I would use them in my workflow or if I would even want to use them in my workflow, to be honest. I definitely need to play around with them a bit more. But I'm definitely more of an AI skeptic than I think a lot of the people here, which is, understandable. I think one of the things that has really, really struck me, and I really feel this at every Max that I go to, is the reason that I love this event is the community and the connection. I do think Adobe do community really well, and I have made friends all over the world coming to this event. I get to see them every year. It's absolutely incredible. It really fuels my creativity, hearing other humans share their struggles, their stories, their creativity. And I think what I'm realizing is that is a big part of it for me, is I want to hear those human stories. I want to hear those stories of someone struggling and then overcoming that struggle. That's the kind of story arc that we connect with because it's something that we all experience ourselves. And I think when people share something that they've struggled with and they're quite vulnerable, and then they talk about how creativity has helped them move through that struggle and taught them lessons and brought them opportunities. Those are the stories that I get really, really excited about and I really, really connect with. And I was actually chatting to someone about it yesterday, and there was an inspiration keynote at Adobe MAX 2 years ago, I think it was. The guy that was speaking was an incredible musician, had worked with loads of famous artists, and he basically told this story about a piece of music he had composed, had helped this girl who had severe medical sort of issues. She was having to have all these medical procedures, and basically the only thing that calmed her down in the medical procedures was listening to his song. I think someone was singing it to her. And honestly, I cried. I cried so much in that keynote. And I well up now, even just thinking about it. And his creativity like moved me so much on a human level. And I think, you know, being around all these incredibly inspiring creative people, it's just making me realize, you know, how important those stories are and how we need to keep sharing them. So yeah, and that is something that I've definitely felt this week, you know, getting to meet up with creative friends, hearing their stories, finding out how they're doing, you know, that sort of connection for me is so important. So I've been really enjoying that. Doing the labs has been a really interesting experience. It's a very different type of speaking format. Is almost more workshop style. So there's two of us, me and Andy, we're both presenting. It's 90 minutes and people are sat at computers and they do like projects along with us. And I have done loads of demos, but it's very different when someone is working along with you. And so, yeah, we've been kind of like navigating that. I've been getting used to that, but it's really cool. It's really cool when sort of Andy's speaking and I can kind of walk around the room and I can see what they're doing on their screens and, you know, everyone's following along and, you know, learning how to create something like that has been really inspiring and really encouraging to see. Yeah, and I guess like really cool to be able to show people new workflows, show people how they can like integrate like the tools into their processes, how it can sort of support them in their creativity. Yeah, so as I said, we've done 2 labs already and we've got 2 more to go. So 1 today and 1 tomorrow. But today I'm really looking forward to the inspiration keynote. It's very video focused this year, which is interesting. I actually I'm enjoying that because, you know, I'm actually really interested about that anyway, because, you know, I've talked a lot about how I want to create more content for YouTube and I've been doing that fairly consistently over the last few months. And so I've been like, you know, trying to improve my editing processes and how I organize my files. And, you know, I need loads of tips about video. And so that has been really cool to be able to come to learn from other people, you know, in different disciplines where I've got so much to learn. I mean, I have so much to learn in all the disciplines, let's be honest, but it's really cool that there's a lot of video content because that is something that I'm so interested in at the moment. And honestly, some of the like editing tools that Adobe are bringing out are pretty wild. Like the Premiere Pro app actually looks really, really cool. That was shown in the demo. So I'm excited to give that a go, play around with sort of editing videos on my phone, see how that's working. So yeah, it's been really cool. Like Adobe MAX is a very intense experience. There's so much going on, so much to see. The creative park is bigger than I've ever experienced it. And this is where they have like all their partners and vendors and there's lots of stalls and activations that you can wander around. I haven't had a chance to have a good look around yet. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be seeing what's going on, hopefully pick up some fun swag and merch and stuff. So yeah, and then Sneaks is today as well, which is always a wild time. It's so much fun. And basically they get loads of their developers who are kind of more behind the scenes parts of Adobe, you know, who are really working on the actual tech stuff to come and demo the things that they've been working on. So this is like very future stuff. And they use Sneaks as a sort of barometer for how people react to them, as to kind of decide what they're going to pursue and what they're going to work on further. So yeah, I would definitely recommend watching that one online if you can. It's always very entertaining. They have a comedian host. I know Paul Trani from Adobe is hosting this year as well. So it'll be very high energy, very entertaining. It's in this big theater. They give you sweets and popcorn and you can pick up drinks and it's like really, really good vibes. And then there's obviously the Max Bash this evening. They basically shut down a street in LA and there's just, yeah, I mean, it's just like the biggest party ever. 12,000 people wandering around, you know, picking up food and drinks. And yeah, it's a huge event. So much effort goes into this event. I've never experienced anything like it. If you ever get the opportunity to go, I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, I mean, I guess just bringing this to a close, what a privilege to get to be here and speak at it. And I just feel very, very fortunate to be part of this community, to have made so many friends through this event, and to have so many people cheering me on as well, which has been really, really lovely. So yeah, I would love if you've got any questions, like come and let me know. I'm going to try and create some vlogs for my YouTube channel with a bit more behind the scenes, although that has been proving quite hard to get all the content that I wanted to get just because it's been so busy doing these labs. But yeah, it's been great so far. Send me your questions. Come find me on Instagram. I'm at Liz M. Mosley. DM me. You can see more behind the scenes there. And I will definitely be sharing some more content about Adobe Max in the coming weeks on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining me for this little Max update while I'm here.